Just recent news, China has just replaced America as the top fighter jet producers and sale in the Middle East. Middle East. I know since America is very much well known for their high quality military arms. The problem is when it comes to military production. Did you know that it will take 9 years, okay, for America to just produce one small frigate, okay, or military frigate? At the same time, it will take years for them to produce military fighter jets. So when it comes to war, there's also a possibility that there will might be a shortage of American military arm. China, on the other hand, besides that it produces 300 times faster in military production compared to USA, China's military arms deal are much more cheaper, better quality, and also the most very terrifying thing about this is China can mass produce it in a very alarming rate. Same thing as Iran. Check this video up since I have a question of whether America is up to the task of defending us, okay, if war and conflict comes. Since this is the evidence, okay, that China is replacing America as the top military arms deal producer. Check this video up, guys.
First, let's focus on the latest achievement of China's arms sales. According to Chinese media, the paper, on the 16th of September, the Egyptian Air Force will purchase Chinese fighter jets to replace Americans' F-16. The Egyptian Air Force plans to purchase the J-10C fighter jet produced by China's Chengdu Aircraft Industry Group. The aircraft can carry 5,600 kilograms of either missiles and bombs and can fly at a maximum speed of 1.8 Mach. Its combat radius is 550 kilometers, while the direct distance between Cairo and Tel Aviv is 402 kilometers. This means that if Israel has an air show, Egypt's J-10C would only need 11 minutes to get there. While Egypt's specific procurement quantity has not been disclosed, Voice of America claimed that China is expanding and targeting the Middle East regional market. However, according to information disclosed by other American media, the Middle East regional market is evidently being messed up by Americans' unreasonable pricing strategy. In fact, the Egyptian Air Force operates 220 F-16s, making it the fourth largest F-16 operator in the world. Washington had offered Cairo the upgraded F-16V, but the price of it was unreasonably expensive. For example, the US once sold 66 of them to Taiwan Island for $8 billion, which means each fighter jet cost $121 million. In contrast, Pakistan signed a $1.4 billion deal with China in 2009 to buy reported 36 J-10Bs, with a unit price of only $39 million. Compared to the products that the US is trying to sell to Egypt, Chinese fighter jets are not only half the price but also perform better. As BulgarianMilitary.com reported, the J-10C offers superior combat capabilities compared to the enhanced F-16 model, or at a comparable cost. Military Watch magazine also reported that the close to 200 F-16s that form the backbone of the fleet are considered among the least capable fourth-generation fighters in the world, and have been heavily downgraded and restricted to using obsolete Cold War-era weaponry, and no beyond visual range air-to-surface weapons whatsoever. In fact, the F-16 is an excellent fighter jet that has been tested in actual combat. However, due to relations with Israel, the US has imposed varying degrees of air combat capability restrictions on the products sold to Egypt, preventing them from posing a significant threat to the Israeli Air Force. For example, they refused to sell the AIM-120 missile, which should originally have been paired with the F-16. This means that AIM-120 missile However, due to relations with Israel, the US has imposed varying degrees of air combat capability restrictions on the products sold to Egypt, preventing them from posing a significant threat to the Israeli Air Force. For example, they refused to sell the AIM-120 missile, which should originally have been paired with the F-16. This means that Egyptian pilots must rely on AIM-7 missiles with a range of less than 70 kilometers, while Israeli pilots have missiles with at least 105 kilometers range. On the other hand, China's J-10C fighter jet can carry the PL-15 missile, which would allow pilots to strike enemies 300 kilometers away. And the relations between China and Israel is obviously not as close as that between the US. According to the Eurasian Times, China is also promoting its latest stealth fighter jet, the FC-31, to the global market, which has gathered attention in the Middle East. With the American F-35, Israel is currently the only country in the Middle East with stealth fighter jet. However, how long this advantage will last is uncertain. Next up, let's turn our attention to Lebanon, which had a profound impact on Chinese customers.